Ladies and gentlemen, it's exactly 2 days since Aisha Jumwa officially defected from UDA party to Linda Mwananchi. Is it a masterstroke or is it a mistake?
Hakuna wa kufanana na Ruto. Hakuna wa kufanana na Ruto.
From today, Aisha Jumwa Karisa Katana is no longer a member of the United Democratic Alliance UDA.
Is Aisha Jumwa the right fit for Linda Mwananchi at the coast?
Huyu mama hata kama ni kumuaccept, unafaa mkuwe rada juu hatuwezi anza tu kumuaccept kwa bedroom ya Linda Mwananchi na DCP. Sijui nyinyi kama mnaelewa how CIA places their people in foreign governments. Mnaelewa hiyo kweli?
Is Linda Mwananchi making a historic mistake by welcoming everybody to their camp? Those are the questions which most Kenyans are currently asking.
So today, James Orengo, the man himself, the man who has one of the lowest developmental absorption of his budget, the man who is on the list with the among top 10 most illegal accounts, he takes the first flight out of Nairobi to go to Aisha Jumwa, apparently to receive her. James Orengo needs to be aware that young people were on the street because of people like Aisha Jumwa. And the reason why young people like me saw something in Linda Mwananchi is because they were fighting with us whilst we were fighting people like Aisha Jumwa. So Edwin Watenya Sifuna and your team, by the way, you're just losing the ball. And I keep warning you guys about James Orengo na Hamski.
And yesterday, X, formerly Twitter, was on fire. Let me read for you a statement or a post by Lynn Ngugi. Very interesting one. The slogan is Linda Mwananchi. The new sign-in is Aisha Jumwa. What a shame. Nini haswa mnaleda. You cannot build a movement around accountability, integrity, and putting Kenyans first, then turn around and recruit the very politicians who represent everything people have been complaining about for years. If this is the standard, then Linda Mwananchi risks becoming just another political rebrand with a catchy slogan. Also, James Orengo, this is beneath you. This is the same Aisha who has spent years at the center of political controversy, changing political camps, facing persistent integrity questions, and becoming a symbol of the kind of politics many Kenyans say they want to leave behind. At a time when people are demanding accountability and a complete break from the old political culture, having her in your camp sends the exact opposite message. Kwendeni huko. And indeed, if you go through most posts on Twitter, they were just sounding the same.
Nataka niwakumbushe tena that politicians are friends, these are not enemies.
Nilimsikia anasema hapa ati watu tunampangia hila eti sijui tumshike tumnajisi. Hata kama wewe ni wakunajisi, si unaangalia mtu unanajisi. Mimi kama mwanaume Mluya nawaambia hata kazi ile tunafanya kwa kitanda tunaangalia vitu ambavyo vinalika bwana. Hakunajisi wewe nani Aisha Jumwa, labda ujinajisi wewe mwenyewe.
In this video, I want us to talk about that move, whether it's a masterstroke or whether it's a tactical blunder by Linda Mwananchi.
Ona Aisha Jumwa ametoka UDA. Ni rasmi kuwa ameingia Linda Mwananchi. Na si ati ametoka kule kwa sababu ya kwa ati amependa ama kwa sababu ya fame ama nini zi. Ametoka kule kwa sababu amekuwa betrayed. Amekuwa betrayed na chama chenye alikipigania tokea hakina hope mpaka kapeana hope, kapeana president. Amekuwa betrayed na watu wenye walimuamini, watu wenye alipigana nao tokea hawajulikani mpaka wakawa watu.
And I want to make an appeal. Please remove the emotions and let us analyze Aisha Jumwa and her move to Linda Mwananchi. Before we do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you to Facebook. There's a post by one of my friends, Dolphin. There's a post there by my friend Dolphin. She goes by the name Nyar Kisumo. Aching Nyar Kisumo. And she shared this video here of Aisha Jumwa. Let me just play a bit of it.
Hakuna wa kufanana na Ruto. Hakuna wa kufanana na Ruto. Ukitaka barabara, hakuna wa kufanana na Ruto.
Now, that video. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is a comment by one of my friends, Civilizer Aaron Moses, who was a Joho ally, a former nominated youth leader in Mombasa, currently one of the key players in Linda Mwananchi. He actually accompanied Orengo to visit Aisha Jumwa yesterday. This is what he posted. And this is this is what he posted. You cannot preach forgiveness and unity for some while denying it to others. If you embrace one leader in the spirit of reconciliation, we must extend the same grace to Aisha. Our mission is bigger than individual. It's about gathering all and scattering none. Our main aim is to take President Ruto home, and that requires unity, not selective condemnation. So the question then is Linda Mwananchi about only sending William Ruto home? Is that not the same reason why Mount Kenya voted against Raila Odinga? Because they wanted to punish Uhuru Kenyatta. But the same question is, and I've seen a lot of ODM supporters asking that question, those who are with Uhuru, that is this reconciliation and forgiveness only applies to others and not to Ruto, because for them, they also view themselves as people who have forgiven President Ruto. But let us focus on Aisha Jumwa, because this issue of Aisha Jumwa is actually emotive.
Nataka mnisikize. Huyu mama Aisha Jumwa, huyu ni dada yangu kabisa wa kuzaa na kupendana na yeye. Tuko pamoja. Sikizeni. Huyu Aisha Jumwa simuachi. Mimi natembea na yeye bega kwa bega. Sawa sawa. Juzi.
So is it a masterstroke or is it a mistake? First of all, let us begin by looking the advantage of Linda Mwananchi having Aisha Jumwa on their side. Number one, key political figure from the coast. Politics is a game of numbers. Aisha Jumwa brings the numbers. She has that her one vote, a former MP, which means she has the networks down there. She contested for the gubernatorial seat. Aisha Jumwa comes with a name. And that actually adds something to Linda Mwananchi. Number two, there's the narrative of defectors. And there's something which Edwin Sifuna at some point said, that as much as they want people on their side, they would want to have people of high integrity. Like when they effected the defection of Faith Odhiambo, that was a good defection. But there's this perception now that people are joining Linda Mwananchi. Because initially, the defectors were from ODM. Now they've been kicked out of ODM. So it means there's no new person from ODM who can join them. They can only receive the rest from other political parties. So they wanted this narrative that, as we are receiving people, and that's where Aisha Jumwa comes in. Importantly, aspirant. If you look at Linda Mwananchi, they didn't have, as much as they had support from the coastal region, they were yet to get a credible person or someone with the capacity to contest. So Aisha Jumwa contested for the governor. She's been an MP. And because of that, it means Aisha Jumwa has the capacity to even come and set up a whole team for Kilifi. That's something they really needed. And as a matter of fact, they also want someone who can fund their political activities. Linda Mwananchi pay bill yesterday raised 3 million within 24 hours. From the face value, that's a lot of money. But from political execution, that's no money. That's no money. That can only buy tent and public address for any political activity. Might not even fuel the vehicles Sifuna and the team will be using from Nairobi, for example, to Busia. So they need someone, like if they're going to Kilifi, at least someone who will be able to cater for some of those costs. Aisha Jumwa has deep pockets. And of course, the fact that Aisha is a woman, it also bridges that gap. Because the other day, they were like, they still have very few women. So having Aisha on them helps them bridge that gap. But is it a political masterstroke? For me, number one, I doubt. But for me, I doubt. Why? Number one, there's a reason why the young people who are supposed to be the core support base of Linda Mwananchi insisted that they were rudderless, they were leaderless, they were tribeless. Because they wanted change. And they've been looking for a leadership that is totally different from what we've had. And they've been moving around, trying to shop for that leader. They knocked at the door of Okia Mtata. Okia Mtata was the right pick for them, but could not. They went and looked for Maraga. They realized Maraga could not, no impact. Then they went and looked for Matiang'i. Matiang'i came back from the country. Within no time, they realized that Matiang'i does not fit the bill. Then from nowhere, Edwin Sifuna came and they carried Edwin Sifuna. As we speak, Edwin Sifuna is one of the credible presidential candidates we have in the Republic of Kenya. As we speak, Edwin Sifuna is highly rated. He enjoys massive support from the young people, and the young people are contributing to his campaign. But now, these guys are saying they want to overhaul the old leadership. Then what do? You unveil to them Aisha Jumwa. Aisha Jumwa was one of the reasons why they went to the streets. If Aisha Jumwa had not been fired because of their activities in the streets, Aisha Jumwa would still be comfortable in her office. When Aisha Jumwa was appointed as the minister Aisha Jumwa was minister for what? I can't even remember. The young people protested that she was not the right person. As Fetu David, she was removed. Then, from nowhere, William Ruto appointed her to head some parastatal. Kenyans made noise. The young people made noise. Then, the president refused now to renew her contract. Then, because of anger, she decided now to come to Linda Mwananchi. You expect those young people to be happy. So they are now seeing Sifuna and Linda Mwananchi as people who are just desperate. They are telling them, we don't just want people, we want to overhaul this thing. Therefore, Sifuna will find it very difficult. Number two, there's this element of Trojan horse. If there's one thing which William Ruto is good at, is infiltration. So majority of people believe that Aisha Jumwa has not just joined that team, because there's nothing which you can use to justify how President Ruto has mistreated Aisha. In an ideal situation, if Ruto were not the president, Aisha Jumwa would not have even been a cabinet minister. But Ruto made her a minister. After the Jay-Z protest, Aisha Jumwa was one of the few former ministers who are appointed back to the cabinet. To head some parastatals. Just like I used to ask about Malala, and of course, I'm also asking about Omanga. There's the element that these guys could actually be moles. And therefore, they can be used. And importantly, Sifuna wanted to build a movement based on integrity and credibility of the leadership. Now, if you have Sifuna, you have Faith Odhiambo, you have Orengo, you have Babu, you have these other guys. And of course, so many other guys are also going to join. will they be fair enough to stand on a podium to tell Kenyans that, you know, we are credible? Remember what happened to Faith Odhiambo. Faith Odhiambo was appointed by President Ruto to chair the compensation committee after the Gen Z protests, the victims. The young people told her no. She resigned. That's what leadership is about. Aisha Jumwa did not resign. She waited for her contract not to be renewed. So because of that, Kenyans will now start seeing this Linda Mwananchi as a team that is desperate for any other support. And because of that, I can assure you, watch what's going to happen to this movement being spearheaded by Caleb Amisi. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, Makwiny. Bye-bye.